Hello everyone and welcome to today's stocks and crypto live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022. It's almost 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at night. Today we're going to go over stocks, crypto, some commodities, and Forex and go a little faster today. Just do top 10 of stocks and crypto. Before we begin, just want to say thank you so much to everyone who followed on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch recently, and Discord as well. It's always appreciated, and we're just trying to build a community of competent technical analysts and traders here. So thank you so much again for following, and let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with the DIA, the Dow Jones ETF on a weekly, I do want to point out that we do have a weekly shooting star that printed last week. So what that means is there could be a pullback, right? The two scenarios that I'm watching for is in terms of Elliott wave theory. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go up one more time. We could definitely pull back. Or this is basically the beginning of a relative top. So if we look at the times that this has happened in 2022, whenever we have this shooting star, that marked the top of the market rally in terms of the weekly chart for investing. So something I just want to point out, even though our RSI is not extreme or anything like that, on the weekly chart, it is a potential sign. This is the third time this has happened. So we want to watch out for, is this really going to be our top or not? Because if it is, we have a lot of space to pull back. Because I was talking to my colleague, if this is a upside down inverse head and shoulders setup, we could pull back down to create the right shoulder and then go up later, right? We could pull back down to even the 310, even to the 300 if it's real bad. We could retest this trend line even and then rally back up. So just watch out for that in terms of long term, in terms of if we measure this 35 days top to bottom, 60 days. So we're looking two or 3 months out, one to 2 months out, right? So it's basically a quarter. What's going to happen in the next quarter? We could definitely pull back if the economic data, what the FOMC does, etc., is unexpected. So on the daily chart, we are seeing we hit this overbought region. That's why we're starting to pull back. We're losing momentum in the market right now. It's going to take some time though for the bulls to give up and for the bears to keep attacking, because we're in the 4-hour uptrend right now. And so it's going to take quite a bit of price selling off to reverse that trend. So in the short term, and this is what it looks like on a lot of charts right now, is that since we did pull back for several days, business days, about 4 days, is you could see here on the 15-minute chart that we're starting to form a downtrend in the price, whereas last week or 2 weeks ago, it was bull market mode. So is this a consolidation or is it the top, right? So just want to watch out for that. A long ways down to go on all these indexes. Okay, let's go to SPY. So SPY, just very quickly, 1 to 2 minutes. On SPY, on our weekly chart as well, did print a bearish shooting star on the weekly chart. Just want to point out, whenever we get these weekly shooting stars in the air, in the sky, that could mark a relative top. So what will really seal the deal for the bears and pull us down is if it turns into a shooting evening star pattern, evening star triple candle pattern, like in the blue box. When you have a candle and then you have a shooting star and you have a bearish candle on the right side. So this week, if we print this bearish candle on the right side, then that will definitely set the stage for a bearish momentum sell-off in the stock market over the next 1 to 3 months. The daily chart for investing, we just like Dow Jones, we're losing momentum on the MACD and we're in the overbought range, and we could definitely test the support underneath the 415 area to 409 area, all the way down to 405, 400 as well. So I'll put those 3 targets for next time. Again, on our short-term time frames for our day traders, like a 15-minute or 5-minute, it does look like it's oversold. So we could get a morning bounce at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in terms of these swing trading, even the hourly is kind of low. So that's why you want to watch out. It's not in complete bear mode. We might bounce up first, right? Low, high, and then try to scout out one more lower low, right? But we might get this setup again where you have a little bit of a bounce for a day or two, and then once it gets a little too high on the intraday, it's going to pull back possibly. Okay, let's move on to QQQ. QQQ, NASDAQ, ETF. So NASDAQ, you just kind of have this bearish, almost an engulfing. It could be an engulfing. Nope. It's just an inside bar. If you really open it up, it's a bearish inside bar. But still, that's not good, considering the other two indexes are pulling back, right? So that's why it looks like we might be getting upside down head and shoulders type of setup. If this pulls back all the way down to 300 or 297, could go all the way down to 290, no problem. If I was telling my colleague, if once we lose 270, 268 down here, then that's a problem. If we lose this 200 weekly EMA in the next 3 to 6 months, then definitely bear market continued part 2, right? But if it pulls back and we hold that, then it could actually be the start of a new bull market, because you could have this very, very strong upside down head and shoulders pattern. But that remains to be seen. So we have to see how this week goes and the next week goes for investing. We are starting to just lose a little bit of that MACD histogram momentum. Didn't quite get overbought on the RSI, but still you can see the folding over action, the bearish momentum setup, which I was calling out on NVDA and Apple that it was forming. So on our 4-hour, not quite oversold yet, but you can see the intraday downtrend is beginning to start, because on our short-term EMAs, we did get that down cross confirming the short-term price pullback. Our 1-hour on tech is oversold. That's why I'm expecting a bounce at some point. Could happen on Monday, August 22, could happen August 23 on Tuesday, or 24 on Wednesday. It just really depends on the sentiment. The setup is there though. The 5-minute 15 is definitely oversold, so it could happen overnight, the European session, the rally, the bounce, or it could happen in the USA market open 9:30. So you could see that it could go like 1%, 1 to 1.2%. So a target, if it goes bull, 325 for tomorrow morning. That would be August 22nd. And if it's a small bounce, maybe just 323, because it could always reverse, right? It could bounce up because low, high, low. It just depends on how high this bounce is going to go. Then this thing gets oversold and pulls back down again. So it's just, I'm talking about a very short-term setup at the end right here. Okay, let's go right into the top 10 stocks by market cap. Do I have that list still open? Here we go. So let's go ahead and start off with Apple. Okay, so we hit the target. We hit my target. I know I said in my profile idea that it's forming. I probably shouldn't have not drawn the box in that particular example, because it was just forming. It's not the final. Just want to make that clear. It had a symmetrical triangle, and we've been a bullish uptrend. Apple's obviously our lead bull in the tech sector. We did hit the 175 target of the measured move, and Apple is really the lead bull. So once we see Apple crack in terms of, I mean that probably many other stocks will fall down and crash. Apple's probably going to be the last stock to crash, one of the last, because it's the largest market cap. People are so bullish, right? But in terms of the weekly, again, let me just erase some of this setup now because it's a new zone. We have a shooting star printed. The last time we had a weekly shooting star was the top. The last time we had a shooting star was the top. So is this going to be our top? It very well could be, or it's at least the fourth wave of the Elliott wave pattern. 1, 2, 3, it could pull back. We could go rally one more time, or this is the top and we're pulling all the way back to like 150 or 153 over time. It's going to go 170, 160, 150 on the way down. So we are up crossed, however, on the day chart pattern. right? Which is good. That has not happened for many years. When's the last time that happened, just to be safe? It hasn't happened since 2019. So it hasn't happened for over 3 years in terms of the golden cross right here on the 50 EMA and the yellow and red lines. But if we Fibonacci this, we have quite a ways down that we could pull back. We could pull back all the way to 236, which is $166. Or 159, 154. If it's really bad, 147 if it's like some super bear sell-off. But we're losing considerable amount of momentum. It's going to take a lot of selling power to knock Apple off its rally because it's uptrending on multiple time frames. 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. 15 is starting to fold over. Okay, just what I'm saying with that with tomorrow is the 5-minute 15, we could see a definite bull bounce. So day trader is probably going to go bullish unless some crazy bearish news comes out in the next 3 days. Before I move on, I should point out as well, let me open up my the Discord here in a second. 1 second. So I do want to point out in the Discord before I started streaming, did release this earnings watch list. What I do want to point out is in terms of the economic data releases we have this week, we have flash services PMI, we have the preliminary GDP, which is quarterly, and then the big event this week is the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium. It's 2 to 3 days, as well as Fed Chair Powell speaking on Friday, and we get the PCE price index as well, right? So there's that economic meeting. That's going to be a big deal because that's when all the big like finance heads, they come together and they discuss the economy and economics and policy changes and like academic papers and such. And then on Friday we get Chair Powell speaking, and it's the end of the month almost. So it's kind of a big deal, right? This week is all about retail for stocks. So in terms of the stock market earnings, tech is over. Even the big retail is over. But now we're getting to some of the smaller retail, some of the clothing companies like Nordstrom's, Macy's, Advanced Auto Parts, Urban Outfitters, and then we have some tech like Salesforce. The big tech for this week earnings is NVDA, Dell, and then we have some of the dollar stores, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Marvell Technology, and Ulta Beauty, and the Gap, and some other smaller clothing companies as well as, and then Zoom Tech. So it's not the most volatile week, but NVIDIA is probably going to affect the charts a little bit as well. There's a lot of economic data happening like almost every day as well. So take that into consideration as we're looking at our charts. But it's challenging sometimes to call a top on Apple because Apple's the biggest, most powerful stock. So it is what it is. So it'll fall eventually. It'll probably be one of the last ones to fall. All right, so Microsoft, we printed an inside bar on our weekly, bearish, however, pullback. The day chart almost forming a head and shoulders pattern on the 4 hour, almost kind of slanted. Right, if I call this our 4 hour head and shoulders right here, then measure move would be about 2.3% from the breakdown. We didn't quite hit that yet. We only went about half. Almost. Actually, we went like 3/4 of the way. So, and the market closed. So on our 5-minute, again, 5-minute 15, it's pretty low, oversold. So we could get that bounce in the overnight session. Our 1 hour, it could sustain, rally all the way back to 287, definitely possible because bulls don't want to lose, right? You can see the potential lower high. So in terms of why am I looking at multiple time frames, I'm talking to multiple types of traders. I'm talking to investors first, and then I'm talking to swing traders, and then I'm talking to day traders. Okay, let's go to Google. Google on the weekly printed a bearish engulfing candle. Google didn't really rally that much, so kind of not the hottest stock in the world, but 50% top to bottom. Our 4 hour, Google's already kind of touching its 200 EMA. There is this head and shoulders on the 4 hour. So if we lose that 200 EMA, then I would start to really get concerned about Google. That's another 2.28% if that goes. Let's just say 2.5%. 116 is the target. If it goes 5%, 112. That would make some headlines if we hit 112, that 3-2 Fibonacci. So again, 5-minute 15 oversold is not super oversold. The 1 hour is oversold. So we might see a little bit of a delayed reaction on this in the day trading. Amazon. See, Amazon, we already have our sell-off, right? We touched that 50 EMA, the 100 EMA on the weekly, and then we have our reversal, right? We have a hanging man candle. If you know your candles, this is bad. When you have a hammer candle that's floating at the top, that's basically almost like a shooting star. It's bad. It's one more push attempt and then fail. We had a push attempt last week and then failed. So our target below is 135 and 129. Daily, we're starting to lose momentum. You can see the rounding top action. And also, when we had this gap up, I knew, okay, it's only a matter of time, maybe like a month before this thing starts to pull back. So I want to watch out for that. I have too many targets on the left here. 30%. Did we go? We went double the target. 26%, 25%, and then we're getting stuck above that 200 EMA. So I'm looking for potential downside over time. But just like all the other stocks, 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour is oversold with the definite reversal potential for the day traders only. Okay, Tesla. Tesla is interesting. Why? Because Elon Musk as well. But we hit this double top in the 900s range, 920 to 940. So I'm going to draw this in there. We haven't had this kind of double top for a while. So on the daily, you could see it. Very clear. Very, very clear. That's why watch out for Tesla. Somebody's a bull on Tesla. Watch out for that, because when there's a big double top like this, there's 12% to 25% downside over time. So if we lose the support of 844 and it closes and stays below there, we could fall down at negative 12%. So that could go 740. This could take months, but it's not impossible. It could go down to 630. So that would take us back to our low again. So we don't want to watch out for that. But because Tesla bulls, and this is a very favored trading stock, it's not going to go all the way right away unless there's an extreme emergency with the company. It's probably going to stop right around 869, 825, 777, or 728, then 680 on the way down. But we are starting to lose that momentum, right? It's basically consolidating, if you want to put it that way, in a triangle. So it's going to try to retest the 880 range and try to bounce around in there. Our 1 hour is oversold. Our 4 hour is kind of in a neutral zone. That's why I'm skipping it right now. But our 1 hour is in an oversold downtrend in the short-term price, low, high, low, high. So again, are we going to get this bounce? If we establish the higher low right above 80, 85, we could bounce up to 900. Definitely possible. It's not quite super oversold in the 15 minutes. So this stock might be a little bit more volatile in the morning for the next couple days. Okay. I'm just going to skip a couple. Let's go to Meta, Facebook. I'm doing the top 10 largest market cap stocks because sometimes it's good to just focus on the big movers. Don't have to chase all the meme stocks and etc. You don't always have to do that as a trader, because right here we're talking stock trading. There's 10 to 20%. That's a lot. The average S&P gain per year on a time-adjusted basis is 10% per year. So if somebody's able to capture 10% in 20 days, that's an amazing swing trade, right? And we're not talking about $100 here. We're talking about most people who trade stocks have a significant amount of capital in their accounts. So let's talk about Meta. Facebook, still in the weekly downtrend, didn't quite bounce up as high as people would have liked on the measured move, but we have basically a bearish piercing candle on the weekly. Facebook had a little bit of bad news, so it pulled back harder. So this one's actually getting into that 4 hour, 1 hour, 5-minute, 15 oversold range. So on the day trading side, we're probably going to see a little bit of a bounce here, maybe 1 to 2% in the next couple of days. It's getting set up. It could crash down one more time if the bears really want to reject it, force it down, and then somewhere down here in the 164, we could bounce back up. Just watch out for that. Next, we'll do Visa. Visa, one of our top 10 stocks. So Visa, very consolidation trading range. It's this wedge in the channel, but there was plenty of 20%, 10, 15% moves here for an investor or for a swing trader. Definite. But at the same time, you could see it's up here towards the high side of the resistance channel. So unless it breaks out somehow, powerfully pulls back, retests, and then powers through into the earnings day, it's probably going to pull back at least to 200 or like a 196. So we're in the halfway point of here. Just want to watch out for that in terms of it's not extreme anything yet. It's not extreme oversold or overbought. That's why it's going to just kind of take a momentum setup for it to really take shape. Let's move on. Let's do J&J, then we'll do NVIDIA. J&J. So J&J, they created a vaccine as well. That's an option here in America, USA. And we can see, if we draw the channel, not the prettiest channel, but you could see J&J more on the support side. That's why it bounced up off of that low, right? This is not Apple, because you notice Apple RSI is up here, way in the 80s on the overbought range, right? Not Johnson & Johnson. It's different. So it's different setup. 4 hour. This one looks like it wants to bounce one more time, right? In terms of a high, low, high, low. Could we get another high? 173 potential target. We try to break through this 200 EMA, or if it's going to correlate with the index, it'll pull back to like a 167. All right, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is important because we have earnings for NVIDIA. And this is my published idea where I correctly called out this could be our resistance top right below 191, and I called it as a short, a swing trade short, and that's exactly what happened. If we bought it at the second day market open, somebody would have made almost the 4% target. If they bought it on the second day afterwards, they would have hit 5% profit, right? So it kind of reminded me, how did I find that? It kind of reminded me of the opposite of this bottom setup on July, and it looked sort of like Tesla, and then it's hesitating. And anytime you see weakness in the market, try to short down on a good setup with manageable risk. So our weekly, a bearish piercing candle. Daily, the setup I just talked about, it's in my profile. Now our 4 hours not super oversold. We're just testing that 200 EMA as well as this trend line, the yellow support trend line. So definitely bulls are probably going to try to defend this range in the 177 to 175 range, somewhere down here. The most notable event on NVIDIA is we have earnings on August 24th post-market. So I'm not going to predict the earnings, but if we measure, we could just measure half of this channel, right? 7% to 15% volatility, right? Just off of this box, the yellow box, this one right here, right? So if we lose this middle heart line, then the bottom side target is 168. But if we bounce up, the target's going back to 191. So the channel that we're in is bulls are going to try to defend that. If not, it'll pull back down, pop up, and then see what happens, right? Just watch out for that. I'll build a 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-minute. Day traders, ooh, they want to probably capture that bounce. So they probably will try to defend it Monday, Tuesday. You can already see this head and shoulders actually forming the RSI as well. Let's watch out for that. Okay, let's transition to some commodities. We're looking at, let's look at XLE first. One thing I noticed on XLE, the energy sector ETF on our weekly is there was the potential reversal, right? This particular trend line, might have to adjust it, right? It's kind of like NVIDIA. The bulls are trying to hold this trend line with the MACD momentum. So this is not May, the end of May, beginning of June, where you had this shooting star. No, 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 right? We're talking about it's trying to maintain its uptrend on the weekly. So are we going to get the energy plays coming back into the market? It's possible. So in a long-term investment, right? Not saying to buy, but I'm just saying this could have been the start of a dirty upside down head and shoulders where we might end up 15% up to 88 target if we can maintain the uptrend. The shorter term time frames though are starting to pull back. We did get the a 4-hour golden cross. Although our 1 hour is still a golden cross, see our 15 minutes golden cross, this is not tech. So we're talking about, we're in the uptrend, but we might see some pullback at some point because it's starting to look like it's losing a little bit of momentum here on the 1 hour, 4 hour, but still in the uptrend, so something notable. Moving on to US oil. US oil, sloppy chart, so let's close everything. Look at our weekly. Looking at our weekly, all right, the problem here is this a giant head and shoulders on the weekly? It could be. So something to watch out for here. If we lose the neckline of $73, we're in big trouble. So it could be a 25% pullback, which would take us back down to 55, but we need some extreme bearish news for that to confirm. We're just barely holding our weekly trend line. That's why I'm not calling anything yet. It's a potential, right? We hit that top side. Now we're at the bottom side of the weekly trend line. So can we hold it? If we don't hold it, I just said the bearish setup goes all the way down to 56. But if we do hold it, we could actually rally back up to like 80 or 90. So 93 is our line in the sand. Also, we have a large gap resistance on our left. So it's going to take some real power to break down below $70. So just want to watch out for that. Because this kind of holding, if we really look at the price and are honest with ourselves, it's not going below 70 for now. It's kind of this descending triangle. So it could be like a Bitcoin play where this thing bounces around for a while and then tries to break out bull. Definitely possible. That's one scenario. But US oil, you know, it's not all about the technical charts. It's about the supply and demand as well. So in the hourly, we could see on the hourly chart, we do have our little baby upside down head and shoulders, which could go 5%. 5% would take us all the way to $78. So it's definitely possible. It's not at any extreme right now. So except for the 5 minute. So just want to watch out for that. Watching the trend. If it's going to go high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, higher high, definitely possible. Then we get that breakout setup. Then people are going to execute and initiate their trades. Okay, UNG, natural gas is slightly different. Natural gas slightly different. Why? Because it's been in a massive uptrend for 1.5 years since we bottomed out here. I went long natural gas here and here, right? So that's why natural gas doesn't really, correlate to the charts, but sometimes you just get a setup and they just believe in the setup, the charts, right? Also, Warren Buffett invested like billions of dollars, I think somewhere like right here. So that could have been a copy trade as well, if somebody's following Warren Buffett, what he does. So in terms of the resistances, there's a lot of trend lines we can draw here, but I would probably just keep these two because this is where our price action is stuck in between. So no signs of a reversal yet. We could call a soft resistance, like I call it at $34. It would be interesting if we double top right away, right here, and then pull back down to $24. That's our bearish target. Our bullish target is 40 and 35 as well, because all it has to do is break out, pull back on a day trading 5 minute, and then continue to the upside. So the momentum is still here. It's not quite golden crossed, but on our daily, we are starting to get a little bit of momentum loss. So if it's going to be a true overbought setup, it needs to break out one more time and then can crash back down into the ground for the price. Our 4 hour is already starting to show signs of the bearish momentum, but it hasn't happened yet. We have to lose support. Intraday needs to lose its trend. So where are our downside targets for swing trade? 29, 27, 25, and 24. Resistance, basically 33, 36, and 38. Get some more accurate ones if we can look left. Yeah, because you could see if we look left, anywhere in the upper 35 to 40 is a danger spot. It has trouble. It had trouble there, so it's gonna have trouble again. Unless the news breaks a different way. So for now, our oscillators are basically neutral. See if we can get our 1 hour higher high, our 4 hour, meaning this, if that's even possible. Okay, we'll switch over to gold. Look at gold futures. So a very sloppy chart, but on our weekly, about halfway. So on our weekly chart, again, this 2000, I didn't touch gold because I knew we topped out at 2000 to 2100. So that's our mega resistance right there. If you even turn it into a monthly, if it's basically just consolidating. Monthly, this is, no one really uses this chart, but it is at a monthly support level. So somebody could view it as that setup. But that's, you're holding that for many years. So that's why I usually don't show that chart. For now, the weekly is stuck. We tested 200, we bounced up. Rejected down on our daily, but right here, it's kind of in an equilibrium. You can see it. It's basically half-half. It was half bull, and now it's half bear. So now we got to zoom in. 4 hour, 1 hour. 4 hours getting close to the oversold. It's not quite ready to pop yet. But our 5-minute 15. So it looks like it needs to sell off a little bit more for the bots and the algorithms to execute a long trade. For now, we just got to play support, resistance, and trend till we get some kind of bullish move. That's why the Economic Symposium, Jackson Hole this week, is probably going to give us an insight about what are the big economic heads, the finance ministers, chairmen, chairwomen, what are they thinking about, right? What are their, get some clues. But we're almost at the 50% retrace, 1751, right? Or 1733. It's getting ready, right? The 4 hour is getting ready. It just needs to go a little bit more oversold on all short time frames, then we get a bounce. Going. Okay. Let me do one more silver and then we'll go to crypto and then we'll end. Silver. So silver weekly chart for investing. Silver was kind of a letdown in terms of 2021 to 2022. Not much happened here. Not that exciting as a trade. But if I draw the trend line as such, we had the breakdown. So simply drawing two lines and understanding the direction of the trade, right? It went up. We were uptrending in 2022. We went sideways 2021, and we started really downtrending in 2022. So then what does that mean? Short, sell, don't buy. Don't buy yet, right? We hit the 618. That's important, okay? So I'm talking about past trade here. We did hit our bullish engulfing. And it was correlated with like the Bitcoin sell-off. We had a mass global sell-off. Stocks, crypto, commodities, all selling off in the same week or day. So our support right now is $17. $17. In a little mini Fibonacci, it's already at the 6.8. So it looks like I'm saying, many stocks and commodities, they look like they want to have this little hourly swing trade bounce, right? The 1 hour, it's already setting up. It's oversold, down cross, but then this is starting to build momentum upside down, head and shoulders. So you can have a bullish bounce on SLV. So now I'm looking at the SLV ETF. This is not futures. So we can see 7 to 14 cent move. So what is that? It's like a 0.5% to 1%. So if anyone's leverage trading out there, I mean, that's the setup. Okay, let's move on to Bitcoin and crypto. If anybody has a crypto request, you can put it in the chat on TradingView on YouTube. But I'm just going to go down the top 10 cryptos to get a better grasp on the market. Oh, the last stock that I did see. So I know, I am aware of what happened with Bed Bath & Beyond, the insane stock run and the crash. But you want to watch out because once what I call like a king or a boss a boss or a meme stock, like a meme king stock crashes, if one of those big meme stocks crashes, it crashes a lot of other quote unquote meme plays. So AMC crash, GameStop crash, Coinbase, Robinhood, crypto, AMC, they all crashed down, right? BlackBerry, MRIN, Excel, all like the day trading favorites, right? I'm not even going to show Bed Bath Beyond because nobody FOMO on that, right? So, but on AMC, it's slightly different because it pulled back. You have the evening star pattern. Daily is not oversold. It's right above its 50 EMA. But then the 4 hour and the 1 hour, 4 hour is right at its 200 EMA, and then the 1 hour is starting to gain some momentum. So this is just one stock. It's different though. If Bed Bath Beyond and all these meme stocks keep crashing, then the setup is canceled. But there is a potential bounce play here on AMC because it's definitely there. On the 5-minute 15 though, in terms of day trading, it could crash down. But in terms of this swing trading medium, I would watch this 1 hour, 4 hour. If this starts reversing, there could be 10% play here for bulls. So just something I caught my eye before I started the stream. All right, let's go to Bitcoin for the last 20, 30 minutes. We'll do total crypto market cap. Okay, total crypto market cap. Remember what I was saying last time, drawing all these supports on the downside, 1.0 trillion, 999 billion, or 1 trillion. You could measure the move. It was like a 10%, and it went down 10%. So definitely that setup is completed. So what I was saying last time is, remember, we have the low, the high, the low, and I was saying, is this our lower high? The charts are starting to show that maybe, yes, this was our top, relative top. Because the last time we had a bounce, it was actually very small. How much did it go from top to bottom? About 50% market cap, top to bottom. We hit 50% again. Rally. So that's just one simple correlation of trying to estimate some kind of top. Although it would have been nice if we hit the 1.5 trillion, but the market's not ready for that, in my opinion. So it looks like we're pulling back. We're stuck under the 200 EMA. That's not good. And I do want to point out my idea on Binance Coin in my profile was correct on the short. It literally, I was calling this top right here at this 333 level, and then saying there's at least a 4% short profit, and it went down way more than that. Went down way more than that. Went down 12%, right? So also I had a Doge coin, a symmetrical triangle play, saying there was plus or minus 5% volatility, and there was way more than that volatility, right? So if somebody wants setups, it was like 20% volatility instead of just 5. So that's why sometimes the crypto charts really respond well to technical analysis. And, no trader's 100% correct. No trader's 100% correct. So some of my ideas are going to get stopped out, but hopefully a majority of them are making profit for other traders as well. Just want to point that out. So on the daily, not quite oversold on the daily, but our 4 hour is getting to that zone. But if we interpret this, our 5-minute 15 on the oscillators, if I'm just staring at oscillators, not quite oversold in any particular direction, right? So the market needs to continue to make its move. The 1 hour, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back one more time just to get this upside down head and shoulders potential setup going on. But the important case is we need to never go below 965 billion. If we lose 965 billion, that's the low of this year. That means we're still in the bear market. If we lose this, bad news. However, if we pull back to 981 or 977 and then reverse, that could actually signal the start of a new bull trend. So it's kind of in a neutral area. It could go both ways right now. Keeping half an eye on stocks. All right, let's go to Bitcoin futures. So Bitcoin futures. Again, this is a rising wedge, and if you know your technical analysis patterns, sometimes a rising wedge, at the end, it falls down and breaks through. I was saying, watch out for that. Whenever it happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, when it's too obvious, the 5th time or 6th, 7th, 8th time sometimes is a fail. Right? Because if it was going to rally, it should have went big green, but it did not. So this is our reversal pattern. Now we're looking at, can we defend support on Bitcoin? Support where? 21,000, 20,000, 19,000, 18,000. One of our members would say, are we going straight to 18,000? As a target, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible, but we have to maintain that downtrend to get that deep. For now, our 4 hours oversold, 1 hour is oversold on Bitcoin, so we're probably going to bounce for swing trading. 5 minute, it's going to keep trying to maintain its uptrend. If we could hold above the 21,000 and 21,300, keep trying to hold this. But you could see the 1 hour has this giant upside down head and shoulders with MACD histogram momentum. It's, you know, as long as we never go under 21,000, I'm not worried about anything. But if we lose that again and start downtrending, then you could worry as an investor or trader. For now, though, this is just the setup. But has the full measure move happened? No, that would be 34% to the downside. That would be way, way, way 15,000, way down here, maybe next year. But if we're talking about short-term moves, do we hit the 17%? Not yet. We went about half. 17% would be like 19,000. Just want to watch out for that. Okay, let's go to Ethereum, USDT, Ethereum. So Ethereum on the weekly, we had our bearish engulfing candle, right? So whenever you get a bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, that could be the start of some stronger move. So our daily, we just hit the overbought range. And this is why you never heard me talk about FOMOing or buying in here is, why am I buying high price? I want to buy low price, June 15th. One of these three spots I'm highlighting, June, July. I want to buy that, correlate with the low in the stock market, and then sell relative now if you're a swing trader or a day trader or swing trader, right? If you're a day trader, you open that short. So our 4 hour is on the oversold range, but it looks like our day trading time frames, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, looks like it wants to pull back as well, right? Let's just see how far it's going to pull back. Can we maintain this upside down head and shoulders on Ethereum? If we can, be 5% for the breakout. That would take us to like a 1700 or take us to like a 1800. Very nice. But our support and downside, 1575 and 1525. We are starting to lose a little bit of momentum. So just watch out for that. It's not a true bull setup yet. Binance Coin, do want to point out, I'll just erase this at this point because my setup is complete multiple times. There's multiple 4% bearish setups or a swing trade of it went negative 12%. Phenomenal trade. So the issue with Binance Coin is we did have this large MACD histogram double and it did rally, but we got stuck under these EMAs. Right? You hit the shooting star last week and then you started to pull back for now. So we did have an evening star pattern on Binance Coin. Right, our daily as well. This bottom trend line is still in play. And I'm going to call it the pivot for now because that's where it bounced off of. Pivot for now. So for now, we did bounce up off of that, not quite super oversold or overbought yet. Hesitating under the 305 range is our resistance for now. 1 hour is attempting another rally, but it already went this measure move the 5% on this left channel here on the left side. Channel and channel. So 4%, 301. Right, so we hit the first target. If it's 8%, 8% would be 311. Almost. But it's even starting to lose momentum here, so I would watch out for this. You could go a little bit higher, and then day traders are going to probably smash it down with this bear trade. So it's not oversold play. It was oversold a couple days ago after the crash. See, that's the important thing about crypto is all about the timing. Got to set alerts. If you're oversold bull trader, you have to set your alerts, low price or low oscillator, whatever strategy you're doing, and then make sure you read the alerts, right? And then make sure you manage that capital. Okay, let's keep moving on here. XRP Ripple. So XRP kind of a muted bounce, didn't really have a nice rally because it's not really that popular tradable in America after it got delisted several years ago. So now it's under the trend line. Under the trend line is never good. Why? Because now it can turn into a resistance play and go deep bear. It's possible. Because our short-term time frames is not oversold at the time of this video. So our 1 hour, our 5 minute is still in the uptrend. It's good because we went sideways and then we're starting to go up. So good, good. But then we still have to hold these supports of 34 cents, 33 and 30, like 33.5 and then 33.2 cents, right? Because it needs to never go below that. So just watch out for that. Next, Cardano. You might be wondering, like, why are we looking at these charts so boring? No. It depends on your time frame. If you're an investor, it's not boring because it's getting a grasp on the market. I mean, it's getting a grasp on the market. Because if you're an investor, do you want to buy at a top? No. You want to buy near market bottoms on accumulation. If you're a swing trader, you want to look for like something like, just low price, buy low, sell high. If you're a day trader, same thing, except you just hold it shorter. Period. Maybe hours. Maybe 1 day maximum, one trading session. So Cardano with the big sell-off. The 4 hour attempting to bounce. The 1 hour, again, we're attempting a head and shoulders, but I'm just going to call support 44 cents, 45, and then resistance 46 and 47. So you could just use those 4 numbers as a potential upside down head and shoulder pattern of 5% to 10% volatility. 49 cents, keep going to the upside, like, 10%. So could be like here and here type of play. Although you could see right here clearly this head and shoulders bearish MACD momentum could be very bad right here. Just watch out for that. Dogecoin. So after the successful symmetrical triangle call, and went even more than that, Dogecoin is still in the downtrend on our weekly. Although the MACD is showing us this huge bounce right here, it's still in a downtrend. So I'm not getting too excited for this. It literally hit the top of the weekly trend line and then just got rejected. It's pretty sad. So, our rally, our altcoin spring rally is not here yet. The summer rally kind of fizzled out for a little bit. So we need a reset. Still holding this pivot point. Still consolidating on a longer term time frame. Support, where is it? 51, 58, 61, and 66. Resistance, where is it? 75, 78, 83, and 90. So I just listed off a lot of support and resistance so people can try to stay ahead of the market. It is interesting. This looks like bot trading, the 1 hour right here, in terms of getting the bulls somebody's trying to hold this right here above 67 cents. So if you can hold above 67 cents, that'd be very nice. You could actually bounce from here like 7 to 10%, 5 to 10%, but it needs to hold. And then if there's a setup, the swing traders might try to take that. But this is very interesting right now. The most recent price action is turning into a parallel channel basically. So I would watch that, set 2 alerts. You just play the breakout or the breakdown of this thing. If it breaks out, it might go bull. If it breaks down, it might go bearish. Or if somebody wants to play the inverse, like this type of play with a small stop loss, try to buy at the bottom because it is consolidating in here on a support pivot point. So it could actually go like 8%. Let's do SHIB. So everyone's talking about the head and shoulder, the inverse head and shoulders, and it's true. It did happen. Definitely possible, right? But in terms of the measure move is 50%. Did we go 50%? Basically, yes. So the first target has been hit. Now it looks like it's retesting this neckline of 1196. So it's still in some kind of strange uptrend high. It's trying to establish a higher low and see if we could try to retest it one more time. Although the 4-hour oversold is getting there, but it's not really oversold on any of these other time frames. So you just want to watch out for that. I'm just being a little patient, waiting for the setup, just trying to ride that trend line, see if it's going to do well or not. Because sometimes these supports at 1200, 1233 holds, or it doesn't, right? So if it doesn't, then short it. If it holds, then long it in general. Do a couple more and then we'll sign off, because I don't think anybody's here right now. So, but if you're still here, I appreciate it. If you want to request, just go ahead and type it in. There must be something going on right now, like school, work, or summer vacation or something like that. Because usually people are here. So if people are not here, that means something's happening in the world right now. Let me check the news. Could be vacation. Hopefully, people did not get crushed in the pullback. But here we are again on DOT, USDT. Attempted rally. So we did bounce up, hit the 0.88, and then pull back down. So still in the weekly downtrend. This is not going anywhere, right? Until our support level is $6, right? Our support level is 962. I mean, resistance 962, 16. Yes, because that's usually what happens. If a lot of people get wrecked in crypto or stocks, like everyone disappears. Nothing wrong with that, because that's actually good in a certain aspect. Like if somebody lost big on, or if they made a mistake on trading or charts, just take a break, right? Don't use real money, paper trade instead, or just take a break. But or sometimes people are on vacation, like when people went on summer vacation and etc. with their families or friends. People started school again this month. So one of those reasons. But what I learned in my time in the market is to not give up on the charting. Trading can take a break because depending on someone's strategy, but in terms of charting, you need to keep charting and practicing charting to stay on top of things, or else something's gonna miss. Like something's just gonna pass by and then you'll see it later. And then that's when FOMO kicks in. So try not to have that happen. So on DOT, still in the downtrend. The 4-hour hit that oversold range. The 1 hour is in the neutral zone. It's kind of strange. It already bounced up like 1 or 2 days ago. So, it went up 4% and such. So a lot of cryptos are looking the same. It looks like bots. So $7, $7.19, $7.31 is our support. If you can hold this upside down head and shoulders, you could pull back. So we actually might double bottom at the $7 range. So just watch out for that. But this would be nice if we could actually break out 5% to the upside. That'd be nice, 782. If not, like $7. But nothing super oversold on these time frames except for the 4-hour. So if somebody's gonna swing trade this, need to put a larger stop loss. So it's not a 1%. It might be like a 20 cents. So could be, so it's like a 6% stop loss to try to make like 12% target over time. Or it could be like a 5% stop loss with a 10% target. Be like that. It's just an educational example because the bottom is the stop, and give it some wiggle room to move around in here, right? To see if it's going to rally or not. Okay. Anybody have a request before I sign off? Anything we could find on TradingView. So stocks, crypto, Forex, commodities, indexes, ETFs, futures. All right. We do need to look at a little bit of Forex before we sign off. I'll just do a quick one on the daily if we have no requests. So on the daily, the DXY, the US dollar currency index, still in the uptrend, and we had this 1 hour, 4 hour oversold bounce right here on August 10th, right here. So this was a strange one where in terms of the market rallied, right? The market rallied as did US dollar currency. So that's one example where the correlation is not inverse correlated, right? Because the S&P is not dropping. So DXY, this was some kind of strange like rally. That's why. So just kind of want to watch out for it. It's not extremely, the weekly is starting to lose momentum over time. The 4 hours in the overbought range. 1 hour is still uptrending. So at some point, this thing is going to come down. Now, contrasting that with Euro USD, we could see the DXY went up, and we know there's inverse correlation, so Euro USD is going to go down. Went back down to our, I called that, I think it was 2 streams ago. There's approximately up to 90% inverse correlation between the US dollar and the euro. So meaning if DXY goes up, the euro is going to go down 90% of the time over a 30-day period for now. Okay. Trader 408, could you just let me know the ticker symbol so I don't have to look for it? For the USDT dominance, I think I have it, but just let me know. That's probably this one, USDT.D. So this is an interesting chart because this is basically showing us, are people going to run away and sell basically into USDT or not? Right? So if we're going to look at USDT, we should also look at Bitcoin dominance. Thank you. So let's actually look at Bitcoin dominance first. So on our daily chart on Bitcoin dominance, we did crash. You know, we had this rally, that's why, and then we crashed down to the Bitcoin dominance. It's not perfect because we still rallied with this. That's why I usually don't really look at this chart that much. I spread extremes. But for now, it looks like it is slowly trying to bottom out for a little bit. It's been in the support channel here for a long time at this 40% range, 40, 40, 40, and we're at like 41. So, you know, I don't really look at this too much unless we're at some extreme. So the only fact is, okay, somebody could make a case that, all right, over time, it's more on the low side, so it could bounce up, so we could see a little bit more Bitcoin dominance. But on the USDT chart, you know, this doesn't help that much. That's why I don't really look at it that much, because you know, Bitcoin was going up and down a lot of times in this particular range. Yes, it could help for market top and bottom, but I don't really look at this type of stuff. But anyways, in terms of where's it going to potentially bounce? Well, it already bounced, so we could already see this could have signaled the potential sell-off. This is very obvious right here. This is very obvious. You had the pop, so then that's why we had that sell-off. But then in terms of the 4 hour, it is starting to cool off right now. That's why you see a little bit of recovery going back into the altcoin market, cryptos. The 1 hour is still in an up cross. A little bit of this momentum building. So again, it's not a perfect correlation. I think total market cap is a better chart to look at because total is the total market cap of the entire crypto market, and then it was very easy to call the tops here of the crypto market and this bottom too. That's why I look at total more than the other dominance, but hopefully that helps you. Right, so it's not really oversold on anything. It's still uptrending on like a 15-minute or 1 hour. The 4 hour is trying to up cross. So if it up crosses, then you would see the pullback. If it goes up and this crosses down here, then you can see a pullback like that. Then we might see Bitcoin recover. Okay, let's do NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ 100. Right here on the CFD. Okay, so on our monthly, all right, so it is on the uptrend for now, and I did cover this one earlier, but we could see on the weekly, we did have this pullback. Okay, we have this, I want to point this out, is to be careful on NASDAQ. We had this bearish engulfing, bearish piercing candle last week. So if this is our relative rejection right here at 13,500, 13,500, it could pull back all the way down to 12,168 or all the way down to 12,000, right? 12,000. Why? Because we have the daily setup, which I'll show you. It's already hit that overbought range basically. So we could have the upside down head and shoulders later to reconfirm that bull market. So that's a bull setup, right? Obviously, it could keep going up. That's fine. That's a super bull setup. Realistically, it's probably going to pull back a little bit, right? You can already see the momentum fading from last week. Our daily, this is what I'm talking about. We hit that overbought region and starting to lose that momentum and get that MACD bullish momentum to the downside. So we can also see the support level of the trend line down here. This kind of like this broadening megaphone pattern, the wedge right here as well. And excuse the background noise. It's my neighbors. And we could see that it's losing momentum, right? Double top RSI, losing momentum here. So there's a little bit of bearish momentum. What I was saying at the beginning of this stream is there's many tech stocks on the 5-minute, 15, and 1 hour setup that has low RSI and low momentum that looks like it's going to go bull. So if I had to make a call, I think the day trading this week for at least a couple days is probably going to try to pull, bounce up for bull setups. Swing trading looks like it wants to come down a little bit more, and day charts, like for investing, looks like it wants to pull back pretty deep. So again, if somebody wants, to try to get a low setup, they do exist, right, on the 1 hour, 4 hour. So this is what I'm saying on the shorter term time frames, because we are hitting that oversold region, right? The MACD momentum's building, this low RSI is building. If you could bounce, you could definitely get a bounce, probably like a 0.5% to 1% in the European to Asian session, or Asia European session today. But in terms of the actual NASDAQ ETF, because that's the thing. When people, because I know if you're trading NAS 100, you might be trading a CFD, you're international. But if you really want the most accurate data, I would, we have to look at QQQ ETF or NASDAQ futures. You get even more data from that, right? The CFD, this thing is not, the greatest. N100 is not the greatest, or NAS 100, right? So I would look at the QQQ and if you have futures data available for slightly more accurate. But in this medium term, you can see low, high, low, so it might bounce up high. I could be wrong though. If we have breaking news tomorrow, like Monday, Tuesday, and it's super bearish, then this thing's immediately rejecting down. So just watch out for that. You just want to watch out that we're not FOMOing at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's trying to green bull setup here, that's significantly more dangerous and significantly more risk than if we bought down here, which I did say I did tell people in the Discord that I was doing swing trading and buying stuff down here. My trades are, I just post it, right? When I close it, doesn't really necessarily mean that I'm done trading there forever. I'm still holding on certain streams. I'll just say what I bought. Like for example, I bought a tech stock down here and I'm still holding it. That's more of an investment, right? Because and I bought a crypto way down here. So just because we have a pullback here doesn't mean I'm going to get scared and sell it as an investor. No. We have to see how far deep is the pullback going to go? Because if it just pulls back even halfway, there's still a chance for recovery. So I ended here. The 3 setups that I'm looking at just for global indexes. This applies to like everything, crypto, indexes, assets, everything in the world. Is in our June, July, we basically set our market low for 2022. So then that's the line, the final line in the sand everybody has drawn as if we lose this and we close below it and start downtrending below that, then we're in bear market part 2. But if we pull back halfway, 3/4, or 25% of the way down using Fibonacci estimate forecast, if we really pull back down, let's say to like 13,000, 12,000, you know, even 11,600 on this and NAS 100 chart, it's not over. You could downtrend and then it'll turn to an upside down head and shoulders and we'll give one more chance, right? So in terms of my observation about inflation and interest rates and COVID and vaccines is, at least in America right now, because the infections have slightly gone down globally and in USA, people are a little bit less afraid this month. People travel more. I see more people wearing less masks in America, going more outdoors. You know, but there might be another Omicron wave that happens in the next couple months, right? Because people are come back to school, come back to work, go back to the office more, etc. And then we have the interest rate. I want to close it with the note from my Discord, just like I was saying at the beginning, is the big events for this week. We get GDP data, Jackson Hole economic meeting, Fed Chair Powell speaks on Friday, core PCE price index data this week as well, and that's flash versus PMI the next couple of days. I think it's Tuesday. So Monday or Tuesday morning. So, you know, it's not all about the chart here, but hopefully I explained the 3 scenarios well enough where we are prepared. So if it pulls down, we're not scared. If it keeps going up, we're not scared either, right? But if somebody's a bull green, it's better to buy low and sell high, right? That's why people are selling now, because if you bought down here in June, July as a swing trader, you probably take some profit here. And this is also the Bed Bath Beyond meme stock crash that's pulling us back down. So we need to hold above support for, you know, 13,000, 12,500, etc. 12,000. Those are the big 3 supports. Because shorts might have initiated their short position last Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, right? And they're trying to target like 4% or something like that down here, which we might hit that target. But in the day trading scene, day by day, it's going to move around up and down. It's still in the uptrend. We haven't confirmed a downtrend yet on the day chart. That's what I'm looking out for. Is this our exact reversal pattern or not? So that's where we play support and resistance. Okay, thank you everybody for watching, following, and joining. Let's do some shout outs right now. Shout out, thank you so much to Buffalo Trader, Saeed. Thank you for following. Thank you, Trader 408 and 1 for the on TradingView for the for following, for the request. Again, I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch, and we have a free Discord as well, which I give a free stock earnings watch list and some economic data. And if there's an incredible setup, I'll post it on my profile if it ever happens for charts. So thank you so much. Hope you have a nice week. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me on the YouTube comments or something like that for next time, or in the Discord chat. Hope you have a good one. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.